The standard banks are offering fully funded scholarships to study at the London School of Economics and Political Science in the United Kingdom for the 2023-24 academic session. These scholarships are to support academically gifted students who do not have the financial means to pursue further studies of this nature. Successful candidates will need to demonstrate a combination of exceptional academic merit and financial need. The scholarship program can be used to study in various study programs such as accounting, data science, economics, finance, and related courses. The scholarship covers your full tuition and a maintenance stipend of around £21,000 for accommodation and living costs. According to the Standard Bank official website, the scholarship also covers your travel expenses and visa costs. In order to be eligible for this scholarship, you need to follow the same application process. This involves applying for admission to study at LSE, which can be done by referring to the How to Apply section, which we will discuss later in the video. Additionally, you need to submit the LSE Graduate Financial Support application, which can be accessed via the Graduate Application Tracker. Finally, you must have received an offer of admission, whether it is conditional or unconditional, by the 27th of April 2023 at 5 p.m. UK time. If you are successful, you will receive an email notifying you of your acceptance between May and July 2023. Before we dive deep into the steps to apply for the scholarship, you need to be aware of some important information that may potentially render your application invalid. To have your application considered at LSE, you must submit all supporting documents with your online application. Decisions for taught programs take about 8 weeks, while research programs may take longer. Please avoid using paid agents or professional assistants, as LSE expects applicants to complete their application materials independently. Use of such services may lead to the rejection of application materials, the revocation of an admissions offer, cancellation of admission, or involuntary withdrawal from the university. Also, beware of agents. Agents may charge exorbitant fees, submit fraudulent documents, and refuse access to application records. All applications are evaluated based on your own merits, and no agent can guarantee entry to LSE. To apply for the program, you need to register an account in the online application system using your email address, which should be the same for both your application and any inquiries. You can complete the application form at your own pace and return to your partially completed application by logging back into the system with your email address and password. The online application link is available in the description below. To complete your application, you must upload all your supporting documents and nominate 2 referees via the online application system. Your submitted application will only be processed and considered after the institution have received all the necessary supporting documents, including the references from your nominated referees. The online application system provides a secure and efficient way to submit your complete application. Before we move into the supporting section, there are some key things you should be aware of. It is advised that applicants take care to avoid delays in the application process by uploading correct and clear versions of essential documentations. Prior to submitting an application, it is recommended that each supporting document be checked and double-checked for legibility and compliance with the criteria provided. Once submitted, the application will be considered by the admission committee as it stands, and no further documents or updated versions will be accepted unless requested. Make sure that your final versions of self-written documents, such as CVs, statements of academic purpose, and research proposals, are included in the application. When submitting scanned documents, make sure they scan properly, as photographed documents may be difficult to read. The documents required for admission are as follows. 1. Application form. To apply for admission, it is mandatory to use the institution's online application system. During the process, you will be prompted to create a user account using your email address. Make sure to use the same email address for any future correspondence or applications to the school, such as for summer school or language center courses. 2. Academic referees. To complete your application, you must nominate 2 referees by providing their contact details in your online application. You must ensure that each referee submits a reference in support of your application via the online referee portal. You may submit your application without waiting for the references, but it will not be processed until recommendations from your referees are received. Your referee's assessment of your academic ability and potential, skills and qualities, and motivation and suitability relevant to the programs you are applying for is an important part of your application. It is best to nominate 2 academic referees who have taught you during your university-level studies and know your academic work well. In some cases, professional references may be acceptable, such as where you graduated several years ago and cannot provide a suitable academic reference, or where a professional reference is considered appropriate. Personal or character references and references from someone who taught you below degree level are not acceptable. Your referees will be asked to complete a short questionnaire and upload a written letter of reference in which they are encouraged to comment on your academic ability and potential, skills and qualities, and motivation and suitability. The executive programs have specific requirements for references, so please check the relevant program pages before nominating your referees. 3. Transcript. When filling out the online application, you will be prompted to upload a copy of your transcript for each qualification you mention in the Education tab. It's important to note that if your documents are not in English, you must upload a translation carried out by an accredited translator like the British Council. If your application is successful, you will be asked for an original or certified copy of your documents before you can register. For applicants who are still in college, your transcript or mark sheet must have an up-to-date list of the subjects you've studied and the grades you've obtained so far. If your university doesn't supply transcripts or mark sheets, ask your academic referees to comment in detail on your progress, including your marks obtained in all years of study. You can submit your application even if you're still waiting for some examination results, but you must have graduated by the time you register at LSE. Don't forget to list the title and credit value of each in-progress course that you're currently studying on the application. 4. Statement of purpose. When applying for a program, you must upload a statement of academic purpose that describes your interest, understanding, and suitability for the program, as well as your objectives for graduate study. Each program requires a separate statement if you are applying for multiple programs. The statements should be typed with a recommended length between 1,000 and 1,500 words. Your statement should address your motivation for undertaking the programs, your academic interests, strengths, and relevant background, areas of specific interest, academic ambitions, any professional aspirations, and other relevant information. Ensure that your statements are well-written, well-structured, specific to the programs applied for, and proofread before uploading. It should only include relevant information and not include personal achievements, unrelated extracurricular activities, or work experience. Also, remember to include your name and the title of your chosen program in the header or footer of every page. Finally, please note that your statement must be all your own work, and any evidence to the contrary may lead to cancellation of your application. 5. Curriculum vitae. To complete your application, you have to upload your CV or resume, which should include your employment history and any other relevant professional experience, such as internships. It is important to note that only the final version of your CV should be submitted, as updated versions may not be reviewed unless it is specifically requested by the institution. Ensure that all necessary documents are included in your application before submission. 6. Graduate record examination. Ensure to check whether the graduate program you are applying for required GRE or GMAT scores by reviewing the key facts section at the start of each program page. If your program's choice require these scores, it is crucial to provide them at the time of application as your application will not be considered without them. Please include your percentile and marks obtained for all sections of the test in the relevant section of the application form, and ensure that your scores are no more than 5 years old by the 1st of October. Note that GRE or GMAT scores are often a critical deciding factor, so it is important to provide them if they are required by your programs of study. You should also arrange for official scores to be sent to the institution from ETS, using the institution codes. Certain programs may exempt some applicants from taking a test. Please refer to the exemptions webpage and indicate which category of exempted applicant you fall into on the application form if you wish to be considered without providing test scores. However, if you do not fall into one of the listed categories, your application will not be considered without the required test scores. 7. Research proposal. If you are applying for an MPhil or PhD program, it is crucial that you submit a research proposal. The proposal should accurately state your research topic and address specific questions related to the topic, such as the key literature and its limitations, main hypotheses, methodology, and case studies if applicable. It is important to note that the word limit for the proposal varies depending on the program, so be sure to check the relevant departmental web pages. Additionally, applicants should confirm that their area of research is suitable for supervision in their chosen department, and should provide the name of any LSE academic staff with whom they have discussed their proposed research. Your proposal must be your original work, with your names included in the header or footer of each page, and proofread before submission. Finally, for those applying for Masters of Research programs, an outline research proposal must be included with the application. 8. Sample of written work. For MRes or MPhil applicants, submission of a sample of written work is required. The sample of written work should not exceed 3,000 words. You may send an extract of a longer work, but sending large publications in their entirety is not allowed. The document must be typed in English, and if it was not originally written in English, you should translate it yourself. The sample of written work should ideally be from your most recent program of study, and if possible, it should be related to your proposed topic of research or more broadly to the discipline or area for which you are applying. It is also preferable that the copy shows comments from the markers and the mark given for the written work. 9. English test scores. When applying, if you have previously taken an English language test, you should include your most recent test scores and score report form number in the appropriate section of the application form. However, if you have not yet taken an English language test, you can indicate in the relevant section of the application form that you plan to take the test at a future date. This is just to give the admissions team an idea of when you intend to take the test. You will not be required to take the test on that exact date. It is possible to submit your application without providing evidence that you have met the school's English language requirements. However, if you are made an offer of admission, you will need to satisfy these requirements before you can register as a student. Moreover, scholarship and visa applications may not be confirmed until you have met the English language requirements, so it is essential to arrange to submit your English test score as soon as you achieve the required grade. Please note that English language tests should be less than 2 years old on the 1st of October 2023. If you need further information about satisfying the school's English language requirements, including the types of tests they accept and the scores required from each test, please refer to the English language requirements page. Additionally, some categories of applicants will not be required to take an English language test. Check the description below for more information. 10. Miscellaneous supporting documents. If you are applying for a program in a field different from your major degree subject, you may choose to provide additional material to support your application. However, it is important to ensure that the documents you send are relevant to your application. Do not send excessive additional certificates, as they will not be considered. Instead, relevant personal achievements should be mentioned in your personal statement or CV. It is also essential not to overload your application with a lot of extra documents, as the selectors do not have the time to read them. If any other information is required from you, the institution will request it directly. To submit your application, use the online application system, and ensure that all supporting documents are legible and uploaded in one of the acceptable formats, which include PDF, DOC, DocX, JPG, PNG, or GIF. Note that each document must not exceed 2 megabytes in size. You are responsible for ensuring that your application is complete. Your application should include your references, statement of academic purpose and CV, transcripts, application assessment fee, and any other required documents. Incomplete applications will not be considered by program selectors. You may submit your application and pay the fee before they receive your references, but your application will not be fully processed until both references are received. Additional documents may be submitted through the graduate applicant portal if requested, but please do not send updated documents unnecessarily, as they will only acknowledge them when they are processed. Do not send supporting documents directly to the academic department, as this will delay your application. To ensure the integrity of the application process, the institution takes measures to scrutinize and authenticate all documents submitted. In cases where they are unable to verify the accuracy of information provided, your admission offer may be cancelled or withdrawn. It is also important to note that if it is discovered that any portion of your application materials, including personal statements and writing samples, are not your original work, your application will be rendered invalid. If you are granted a student visa to enter the UK and it is later discovered that fraudulent documents were used in your application, you should be aware that the UK Home Office may deport you. This means you may be prohibited from entering the UK for up to 10 years. So, please be careful. Lastly, to submit your application online, you are required to pay an application assessment fee of £80 using a credit or debit card through LSE's website. Please note that the application assessment fee is non-refundable in case you change your mind after your application has been acknowledged. All required links are available in the description below. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.